In this video, I'm going to talk about what is law of detachment and how you can actually apply it in your life. So if you don't know, I'm Farbod, and I run a hypnosis coaching for multi 6, 7, and 8-figure founders, basically to identify what are your mental blockages in your personal life and in your business life, ideally building your identity in order for you to actually hit your goals, right? So it's not just about strategy, it's also about identity, which I'm a big advocate on. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about law of detachment, as I mentioned. So basically, law of detachment is detaching from the outcome, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have the goal or the ambition. You have those things. You do say you want those things, but you detach from when or how it's going to happen. So let's take an example. You want to hit a certain revenue, or you want to attract a partner, like your ideal partner or things like that. The more you're needy and you keep chasing and chasing, the further that thing actually goes away from you. Essentially, the further it moves away from you. So what needs to happen is that you want to get crystal clear about what you want, but at the same time, you want to be detached from the outcome. So stop putting it on a pedestal. It's the same thing in dating. So if you put something on pedestal, you never get it. It's like you not having it. It's like you're going after it as if you don't have it, right? Same thing with money, same thing with relationship and dating. The further away that thing moves. But if you assume that this is already yours, you act as if you already have that business that is producing 6 figures, 7 figures, or 8 figures, or you already have that ideal relationship or things like that, then naturally you're gonna be in a calm, relaxed state, and you're not needy, you're not chasing it. So the whole point of law of detachment is set the goal, have the goal, be crystal clear about what you want, but act as if it's already yours and operate from that frequency. So be detached from it and be detached from how it's going to happen, when it's going to, hit your bank account. Just assume that it's already yours. And the strategy will naturally come into your mind. So you acting as if this is already yours. So for example, let's take an example. You want to hit a certain revenue in your business, you want to grow and you want to scale it. So instead of putting so much pressure, working hard, hustling, trying to be pushy on the sales calls and things like that, just assume people are going to buy. Just assume that it's going to come, things going to work out in your favor. Just having that mindset or mentality of you already knowing that this is going to happen, this is already happening, and acting as if will essentially, I don't know the exact way that this works, but in our brain, it makes it so much of an easier and effortless, and the ways basically will come to you. And that's what the law of detachment is. And it can be hard because we are ambitious, we want to hit that goal, that specific thing, but it all comes from the perspective that we have and how we actually go after it. So once again, so if you start normalizing it, right? So what I want you to actually walk away with this is that start normalizing that income level that you want to be hitting, that ideal relationship, that ideal dream body or physique, and don't worry about the when and the how, and just act as if that thing which you want, it's already yours. You already have that dream income, you already have those things. And ask yourself, what would that version of you do in order for them to reach the goal, right? How would they think? How would they feel? How would they act? How would they walk? How would they do everything? And just act as if it is already yours. So let that sink in. So, and it can be hard. I 100% agree, because I've been an agency owner myself, and I pretty much it was always hustle and grind. You're just hey, I need to get more leads, I need to generate more sales, I need to do all that sort of stuff, right? You dialing leads, you calling leads, you just like handling objection, things like that, back and forth. So, and I remember the more hours I was putting 10 hours, 12 hours, 15, 14 hours a day. And the result, like in terms of like revenue it produced, it didn't make much difference. Whereas something that I'm actually practicing even more right now is that I don't really think that you have to work extremely hard to get what you want. It's always about the energy. So if you could be like working 2 hours in a day, but you do what takes you from 9 to 5 that people usually work in that 8 hours. Just imagine doing that 8 hours work in 2 hours. You just find ways to actually get to your goals faster. And rather than chasing, you just create a system where everything is effortless, where conversation is effortless, where content creation is effortless, where you focus on the highest leverage activity. So that will all make a massive difference as well. So basically, what I want you to walk away with law of detachment is not necessarily that you don't set big goals, big ambitious goals. You have to be setting those goals. That's step number one. But the way you go about pursuing those goals changes, because what tends to happen is, for example, like when you want something so bad, like really, really want it bad, which can be a good thing, but there's a little catch. If you are chasing it from a point of view of not having it, it's like a dating scenario. I like to give this example. Like, let's say you want that perfect 10 out of 10 girl. You see at the bar, you see her at the coffee shop, and you freeze. You're like, oh, I need to go talk to her. But deep down inside, you have this mental that she's out of your league. You can't get her and things like that. You won't even approach. And let's say you do approach, you do all those things, but you're coming from a perspective of, I'm trying to impress her. I'm trying to win her over, right? And then she gets defensive. She doesn't, comply or whatever. It's the same thing, right? With our goals, in our business, in our life. Like, the more we try to chase things from the feeling of not having it, the further away that thing actually moves from us. So I want you to go about approaching the things that you want, whether that's the income, revenue, business opportunity, things like that. I want you to go from a frame or a point of view of you already having it. This is already yours. You expect it. You expect to see those numbers in your Stripe. You expect to see those numbers in your bank account. You expect to see X amount of clients working with you one-on-one, or for your coaching, consulting, agency, whatever business you're running, you expect it, right? This is like becomes second nature. All of a sudden, as you normalize it, you expect it. This is like normal, right? Your vibration changes, the action you take, all that sort of thing, it will be much more effortless. Because let me ask you this question, like, let's say you want to reach your goal. Would you rather reach it more easily, more effortlessly, or would you rather like work crazy hours and just keep getting rejected over and over again, keep losing money, keep burning money, hiring the wrong team, all that sort of stuff? Or would you rather, you learn fast, you move fast, and it will be a more efficient, more effortless, and more fun process for you? So it's all to do with hypnosis. It's all to do with your own mindset. So fix your mindset first, because that is so important. You need to do things the right way. It's not about knowing what to do, because you probably know, you're an entrepreneur, you know what to do. You know that you should be bringing more business, you need to be talking to leads, things like that, but you're not doing them at the highest leverage activity simply because you are coming from that point of view of chasing from not having it. So fix this, have this one simple mindset shift when it comes to going about your business, and you will see the difference. So if you enjoyed this video, hit the like, follow for more, or subscribe. And I do have a community, I'll link them below as well if you want to join and check it out. And if you want to work with me one-on-one, if you want me to rewire your mind and identify what is actually keeping you stuck or plateau, there is an identity rewire call. Feel free to book in a call, and I'll look forward to connecting with you soon.